Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Well, I'm Tony D, and this is the American Freedom Fighter. Now, this video may be a little garbled. It may be having internet issues because I do have very slow internet. Unfortunately, I only get 6 megabytes a second from this internet provider. Thank you very much, CenturyLink. Now, I am and have done videos in the past on this channel, but I took a little time off. Basically, I took some time off because it was to the point where I was pretty much losing not only viewers, but I was also having issues with YouTube. Now, I have lost channels through YouTube, and it seems that every time they put up new terms and conditions that we have to follow, they go back to the old videos, they delete the old videos, and of course, they delete your channel, which has happened to me with a few different channels, just to let you know. So, I mean, nothing's nothing's set in stone here with this channel. Um, I'm going to try and do my best to do what's right. Give me a second here. I'm trying to straighten out my background here a little bit. I could use YouTube's back or StreamYard's background, but it's a little shady. Plus, I don't have a green board behind me. But anyway, my topic today: the fall of America. Now, why I say that? Okay, we are in. Sorry, I got something in my eye besides my eyeball. We are in some very challenging times right now. We have the border crisis down in Texas. And I must say, it's not just in Texas, people. It's also in New Mexico, Arizona, California, all the Democratic states that are getting flooded by all these illegal immigrants. Now, I'm a veteran, a Vietnam veteran at that, and we fought for this country to have our freedom, to be able to say what we wanted to do, to have our freedom of speech, to be able to live our life and have security. We didn't always have to lock our doors to worry about someone breaking into our homes. We always, when I grew up, were able to leave our doors unlocked. No one dared to go into someone else's home. But nowadays, everything's so bad that, oh man, you can't even you can't leave anything unlocked today, or it's going to get stolen, or you're going to get robbed, or for women, raped or killed. Now, our American border has been sealed and closed up for a lot of years. It was never as bad as what it is today. When you have over 300,000 illegal immigrants flooding and invading our country, that's wrong. And when our government just continues to let it happen, that's worse. These people took an oath to protect and defend the people, the citizens all of us that live here in the United States of America. And I don't care if you're the president. I don't care if you're a Senate member or a House member. Anybody that is involved in our government all have taken an oath. And that oath is to protect and defend the citizens of the United States. Now, even most of us veterans that have served our time are more than happy to protect and defend this country to this day. Why? Because we want our security of this country. We like our freedoms. We like to be able to do what we want. We don't want people robbing us. We don't want people breaking into our homes, raping our women and children. This is unreal. Now, just last week, there was a man that came into this country, and there's many people who have put that video up on their YouTube channels. And he stated, "You will know who I am very shortly." I must say that can be a very, very scary scenario, especially when you have someone that says, "You will know who I am." And he just walked right into our country. Now, is that a good thing? No, it isn't. This guy is probably a terrorist. And our government is saying it could take as long as 4 to 8 years before any of these illegal immigrants have a court case to legally be able to stay in this country and work on being vetted to become a citizen of this country. Now, we also have our government officials who are now talking about putting into play the possibility of having these illegal immigrants, since most of them guys are of military age, to have them join our armed forces. Then they would be vetted into becoming an American citizen. Now, our armed forces definitely are way lower in capacity than they ever have been in the history of this country. But let me ask you a question and see, and you can leave a comment if you'd like on my channel. I will review my comments. Do you think it's wise for these illegal immigrants of military age to join our military? I look at it, and this is my opinion, at a couple of different ways. For these people to become an American citizen, I could see it working out in that aspect. But are these illegal immigrants that are of military age, are they spies from other countries? If they were to get into our military, that could be dangerous for our military. Or the possibility of those illegal immigrants that become military members of our United States military. And what if they turn on the military itself or we the people? Now, this could be one big terrorist organization. You have many, many men with documents, military documents from China. In other words, these people are in the China military and they are coming here to the United States. Are they coming here to become citizens of the United States? Or are they coming here under the rule of China to be a spy here in the United States? There are many, many secret, undercover terrorist cells throughout our country. Is it wise for us to let these people in our military? How long and how much investigating should our country do to allow these illegal immigrants into our military? Do you think it would be wise? Now, when I was in the military, it was pretty strict. Our basic was pretty tough as well. Can our military today keep these people from making telephone calls to whoever because they may be a spy? Is there a way our military can keep these people on a probationary period where they cannot make any contact with anyone? As for myself, we really didn't have, when I was in basic, we really didn't have, except for maybe one day a week, to contact our relatives or whoever we wanted to speak to. It wasn't an every night ordeal when I was in basic training. And even when I went overseas and I was in Germany, they used a ham radio frequency, talking skip, basically, on a communication from Germany to here in the United States. There was no AT&T or My Bell or cell phones or any of that stuff back then. That's before cell phones even existed, before computers even existed, for that matter. But how do we look at these things? Now, we now have a president that from day one that he was in office has taken away our energy production, our gas production, oil production. Now the newest, even propane, he's going to be limiting on as far as producing it. They've caused a pandemic of unfathomable ordeals here in this country. This man has totally destroyed us. People that were working, that were happy, had homes. Now you have many that have lost their homes. Many women, men, women, children are living in the streets today, living in tents. They can no longer afford an apartment or a home. That's like myself. 10 years ago, I missed out on a home for like $65,000. Do you know how much that home is worth today? It's like $265,000. That's unbelievable. Who would have ever thought that the price of a home would skyrocket that high? Who would have thought? And back in 1972, you could buy a brand new Corvette Stingray with a 350 Z28 LT1 motor, 4-volt main. That was the fastest thing around. You could have bought that brand new back in 1972 for $3,000. How much does a brand new Corvette go for today? Yeah, you're talking 170,000 and better. Same with your homes. The average person, to purchase a home, you would have to be making at least $150,000 a year, because homes are minimum $200,000 to $500,000 to purchase a home now. You're being taxed on everything. You're being censored on everything. We're losing our freedom. We're losing the freedom of speech. On these platforms, we can't speak freely like we once did. Everything is censored. Everything you say, everything you do, every place you go. There are cameras everywhere. Your phone is its own GPS tracker to exactly where you are. Some of you are saying, "Oh, I could shut my phone off." Oh, sure you could. But even while your phone's shut off, it's still tracking your location, every single bit of it. And then we have the next ordeal that we're dealing with now. Since this guy that they want to call a president is destroying in our country our Second Amendment rights. Are we to the point where we are ready to go into a civil war or a revolutionary war against our government? A civil war is pretty hard because you don't know who's on your side or not. But as far as a revolutionary war, we pretty much know that it's we the people against our government. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the possibility of our so called clown as a president in making the National Guard all under the orders of Biden and active military veterans. Well, each of the 25 to 26 states that are using their National Guard, those are state National Guard, which the president has no power over, so to speak. Only the governors of those states where those National Guardsmen have come from only take the orders from the governor of those states, not any military at all. I figured I'd throw that out there for you because a lot of people don't realize that. And of course, you have that back the border convoy, which is fine and dandy. The only thing we have to worry about, because there are a lot of armed citizens that are going down here to our border throughout the southern part of our country, we have to worry about somebody that doesn't get trigger happy and starts to shoot at these illegal immigrants. Now, I have stated on Twitter and a couple other platforms, well, that would be the way to stop these people. You start shooting at them, and guess what? They won't be coming in droves. They don't want to get shot. But it's not really the proper thing to do. What is the proper thing to do is put our citizens all along our southern border and prevent them from coming into this country, to seal off every little crack and crevice between the border wall and the rocks and on the hills and mountains there, so that these illegal immigrants cannot find a way to get into our country. It's time that we, the people, stand our ground. If our government is not going to take care of us, then it is up to we, the people, to take care of ourselves. This may be to the point where, yes, we may go into a revolutionary war. Some have even said, well, is Texas going to secede from the rest of the United States? At this point in time, I don't believe so, since Texas has got over 25 states to back him up on this border crisis. And then, of course, you have Bozo Biden that's, oh, well, I just give me the power. All you have to do is reenact those executive orders that were on your desk that you signed to disable. You do have the power, Mr. Bozo Biden. If you're not able to figure that out, and if you do not have the cognitive ability to know what your job is and how to run that job, you should not be a so-called installed president like you were. Most of the people of this country, and I don't care if you're Democrat, I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're independent, I don't care what any of yous are. We have to look at things in a proper perspective. You have a man that's running once again for the President of the United States. Every rally this man holds, he outfills every event. And there are people in droves outside of the event that are watching Teletron, TV-trons, whatever you want to call it, outside. And this man, Donald Trump, always has more people than you'd ever dream of. I had to laugh because just the other day I had watched a video of a campaign that Joe Biden did. And there was a few protesters in the crowd. And every time Joe went to say something, these protesters would start yelling in the background. And it was mostly women, because I believe this was a pro-life event. And as soon, but I'll tell you what, it was funny because you'd hear the protester and you'd hear all the people at the event going 4 more years, which is a bunch of crap. Nobody wants this kind of economy or anything like that for another 4 more years. But I had to laugh because it was a 3.5-hour event. And throughout the 3.5-hour event, Joe, the Bozo Biden, didn't even get a chance to finish his first paragraph about abortion rights. But that's a different category altogether. My point here is these Democratic politicians are slowly but surely taking away our constitutional and amendment rights. It's time that we stop this Democratic Party from gaining that power. Otherwise, this will no longer be the United States of America, but it may be the United States of Venezuela, another Venezuela. People don't realize that Venezuela was the 3rd largest country in the world. Their economy was thriving. They were a very successful country until their presidential leader took away their gun rights. And it ended up becoming a very broke country. everything crashed in that country. The economy went down the tubes. Now you have millions living in the streets in cardboard boxes and tents and cars and things like that. So, what do we have here in the United States right now? Very similar situation. You have millions of men, women, and children living in the states that are United States citizens. You have the senior citizens of this country who have been waiting since Joe made that promise. I'll increase Social Security. Guess what? It's over 3 years now, Joe. No increase to our Social Security. We're losing our freedom of speech. And yet, we're losing our way of life. We have companies in this country that are selling out, going out of business because they cannot afford to stay in business anymore. We have the desolation of our food supply that is getting worse almost by the day. All these chicken farms all of a sudden are having these mysterious fires. Food processing plants, mysterious fires. Swine flu. Mad cow's disease. Mysteriously, thousands and thousands of cows are dying. Swine flu. What's the other one for the birds? The bird flu there. All these chickens and turkeys, and isn't it all mysteriously? I just should say, isn't it mysterious how all these things have happened in the past 3 years? Oh, and keep getting that bang in the arm, huh? They got you going good on that, don't they? I'll tell you what, I'm glad I never got the first poke in the arm, and you'll never see me get a poke in the arm for any of that pandemic bullcrap, okay? But you people believe it's going to work. You just keep right on going after it, huh? Okay? I would suggest you watch Died Suddenly on Rumble. Maybe you people would wake up a little bit. Because I have a relative that not only was injured by one of those vaccines, he has Bell's palsy, he has heart problems, just had a stroke last month. So thank God he's recovering slowly, but still, as soon as our government went ahead and suggested that you could get a free meal, oh, yum, or you could get season tickets to a baseball game or a football game, or boy, that told me right off the bat, when your government has to coerce you into taking something, it's never a good idea. Just like the government telling the Indians they didn't need guns and they would take good care of them. Didn't work out too good for them either, did it? It's not working out too good for we, the American citizens, now either, is it? We're paying through the nose for gas. You can't even afford to rent an apartment or a home. Everything is so outrageously expensive. How are people surviving? I don't know how people are doing it today. I'm having a hard time. I live on $1,200 a month. I was forced into an RV trailer that I had to purchase. Otherwise, I would be another homeless veteran. Now, all my bills are paid every month. That don't leave me much. I'm lucky if I have 50, maybe $100 left over at the end of the month. And if it wasn't for our good old EBT system that our government has, I'd be starving to death. But yet, what's our government doing for these illegal immigrants? You don't see them all dirty and coming over with dirty clothes and all that stuff when they're crossing the border, do you? They're getting brand new clothing. Welcome to America. You get a brand new phone. You get to take a plane anywhere you want to go in the United States. And when you get there, you will get free housing. And oh, yeah, we'll even give you this credit card that you can go ahead. It's got $5,000 that you can purchase whatever you want every single month. And here you have a person as myself living on Social Security. And what am I getting on Social Security? $1,200 to live on and less than $250 a month for food that's on my EBT card. I have to struggle to survive every single month. Do you have to struggle to survive every single month? I'm going to say probably. So why are we letting these illegal immigrants come into this country? And we're giving them free clothing, a free cell phone, $5,000 a month to live on. I could sure use $5,000 a month, I'll tell you that. And they're getting free housing. Damn. And we got this bozo as a president who's given millions and millions and millions, 120 million, 180 million, and just millions to Ukraine. And now with this conflict with Israel and Hamas, now we got this bozo as a president that's giving our money to Iran and to Israel. So he's funding the war for both sides to kill each other. We're also at high tensions with China. We're with high tensions with Saudi Arabia and Russia. How many people don't we have tensions with? And we're suffering all the way around. Instead of bringing those illegal immigrants into this country, why didn't they take care of the American people? Oh, I know why, and I think you do too. Flood this country with illegal immigrants, give them their green card, vet them in real quick so they can vote, and make them vote Democrat. Then it'll be a one-party society. They want to be dictators over you. They want to follow Klaus Schwab and George Soros and all the rest of these elites for this one world government. I'm not for it. You shouldn't be either. But I could say one thing. It's time to stand up. It's time to wake up. Make ready. Be ready. I hope you're locked and loaded, because I am. And even though those freedom seeds are a little expensive, I would suggest to keep on purchasing them, because that's another thing our government is trying to stop us from getting. Get what you can while you can, people. Stock up on food. I hear next week the gas is supposed to be spiking up again another 50 cents. Wake up. I'm going to try my best to post videos on here as much as I can. I'm not going to set any certain time or date at this point in time. But I would appreciate if you people like and subscribe to this channel, The American Freedom Fighter. I will keep up and do the best I can to give you knowledge about different things that are going on. This is time that we stand up, people. It's time that you wake up. We, the American people, are the ones that are suffering in this country. Our government is abusing we, the American people. You hear this president complaining about mega people. What is mega, Joe? It's Make America Great Again. Why are you against making America great again? You're supposed to be a president that should be for the people. You talk about supporting our democracy. Are you forgetting that this is a constitutional republic? We live under the Constitution of the United States. There is no democracy without the Constitution or our amendment rights. So on that note, I think I've said enough for tonight. Trust me, I'll have a lot more coming very, very soon. Once again, like I say, this is Tony D with the American Freedom Fighter. I hope you're an American freedom fighter too. Like, subscribe, and share. Get ready to go back to basics, people. Stay strapped, stay locked and loaded. Keep your head on a swivel. Get what you need now. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good night. And I will speak with you again very shortly. Watch for my videos. I'm back. Good night, all. Be safe, and God bless you all.